Hey guys, my name is Matimio, and today I did something that I was not expecting, and that is after a 10-minute domination round on Operation Locker, I had a score per minute of 20,000 points. So after 10 minutes of using a designated marksman rifle on Operation Locker, I somehow managed to accumulate 200,000 points. Like, that is just an insane amount of points. And what was kind of funny about this is that I almost didn't even notice it at the end of the round. I kind of just checked my progression to kind of see how close I was to getting the final designated marksman rifle unlocked. I was just kind of running around in domination so I could complete those. Like, I find these weapons to be kind of infuriating to use, and I kind of just wanted to get them out of the way. But then I looked at the progression itself, and it said that I had 2 levels unlocked, 2 battle packs ready to go, and over 200,000 points, and I was just floored by that. And so I wanted to make today's video not only just to say how insane that is, but also to kind of inform you that if you are not using your experience boost that you get through battle packs, you're doing something wrong. Because the reason I was able to get this many points was because I was using the 200% XP boost. And even if I was using like the 50% or the 100% or the 25%, it is still a significant difference. And as I said, you are doing something wrong if you are not using this along with the double XP weekend. But what was kind of funny about this entire process is that I somehow achieved this absurd amount of points while using the designated marksman rifles. And I don't know about you guys, but when I first started using these weapons, I thought that they were utter trash. Like, they don't do as much damage as they did back in Battlefield 3. There's a lot of recoil with them. And when I first started using them, I always felt like I was at a disadvantage. It didn't matter if I was up close, medium to long range. I felt like if I got into a firefight with someone who was using an assault rifle, I was gonna have a bad time. But after kind of playing with them for a while I still feel like they need some sort of improvement, mainly due with the recoil. Like, I still feel like the recoil is a little bit too insane. If you kind of use them as more of a zone control or use them in long quarters, like right now when I'm playing on Operation Locker, they're not too bad. Like, I was able to go on some fairly impressive kill streaks. Like, you have to be fairly skilled with it, and you kind of have to understand the weapon and the recoil, but once you start to get the hang of it, they're a surprisingly effective and satisfying little class of weapons. But one thing that has quickly become apparent through my playtime and using these guns is that you have to play with them way differently than any other weapon in the game. Like, if you try to run and gun with a designated marksman rifle, you need to be a very skilled player. Like, if you round the corner and you are in a close encounter combat with someone else and they are using an assault rifle, if you do not get a headshot within that engagement, you're probably not going to win that firefight. At least if they're good, if they know what they're doing and they played Battlefield 4 at least for, a while now, they're going to have a fairly significant advantage over you, and you're probably not going to come out of that alive if you do not get a headshot. The damage model for the designated marksman rifle has been significantly reduced compared to the Battlefield 3 version. Like, if you got a headshot in Battlefield 3 and you were using like the SKS or the M417 and you were within close range, it was a one-shot kill. Like, they were amazing weapons. I thought that they were phenomenal, but DICE has decided that they didn't like that system, and so now if you were within close proximity to your enemy and you go for a dome piece, it's not going to drop them instantaneously. Like, you need to get another bullet into them. And so what this means is that if you do not get a headshot within those circumstances, it's going to take you 3 bullets to drop them. And since a lot of these weapons have a very slow rounds per minute, as I said, you're just not going to last very long. And so what I've been doing is playing kind of this sneaky stealth game. And I'm not saying like I'm using the suppressor, like I'm not trying to stay off the minimap, but I'm trying to put myself in a position where I have kind of a nice vantage point over like a long corridor, or maybe I'm kind of moving around the map in such a way where I'm kind of catching enemies by surprise and I'm getting the jump on them. And so when I started to adapt that type of play style into my gameplay, that's when I started to go on some kill streaks. That's when I started to have actually fun with the designated marksman rifles. And while I still think that they are a weaker class of guns compared to pretty much everything else in the game, if used correctly, it can be a a skillful and kind of a enjoyable little class of weapon to use. But yeah, that is about it for today's video. I just kind of wanted to make sure that you guys are using your XP boost alongside the double XP weekend. Like, you just get an absurd amount of points. It's delicious and awesome, so make sure that you're doing that. But until tomorrow, guys, have a good one and take it easy.